you can't have amplified sound. So if you want to do that, please go.
Is there a certain
out.
decimal level? Because I see a lot of street preachers on Anaheim and Avalon all the time on Saturday morning, and they have amplified sound. Is that illegal for them?
It is illegal.
It is illegal.
In this video, you're mainly going to see my conversation with law enforcement. After being warned to shut the amplification system down, I spoke to other officers to see what they had to say about the matter. And hence, you have this video where we see that other officers were actually in disagreement with the police officers who were trying to shut me down.
Muchos de ustedes padres, sus hijos van a andar de vagabundos porque no les enseña la palabra de Dios. Muchos de ustedes padres, sus hijos van a andar de marihuanos porque no les enseñan a sus hijos la palabra de Dios. Muchos de sus hijos van a andar de borrachos porque no les enseñas la palabra de Dios. Ustedes padres no les enseñan el temor de Dios. Ustedes padres no les enseñan la verdad. En vez lo mandan a esa iglesia llamada la Iglesia Católica que tiene doctrina falsa. La Virgen María no puede salvar.
Dios dijo no prediques en las esquinas ni en las sinagogas, Señor.
No te metas en pelos, compa, porque va a haber broma.
Te respeto, mijo. Te
Respeto,
respeto.
Muchos de ustedes padres tienen que tener temor de Dios. Muchos de ustedes padres tienen que enseñar la Biblia a sus hijos. Luego por eso andan embarazadas. Luego por eso muchas de sus hijas andan como cualquiera.
Respeto, cabrón. Aquí hay
You're complaining, dude. I get it. It just can you slow it down a little bit, or
so when freedom of speech interferes with the business, it's actually a violation. Just trying to give you a warning here and educate you. If you want to go pray with me, I'd like to over there.
Usually,
would you like to pray with me?
I'm okay. But usually,
so you don't want to pray. I need to pray for my own life. Actually,
usually, when I preach in public, there's businesses there, and it's not a problem.
Okay, I'm just educating you.
Yeah.
Would you mind praying for me since you're also a Christian?
Yeah, I'll pray for you.
Over here.
Primero respetar a la gente para que te respeten.
Biblia. La Biblia dice no prediques en las esquinas de las calles para que la gente se dé cuenta. En nombre sea Dios te bendiga.
Muchos de ustedes padres se ofenden con la palabra de Dios. No les gusta la palabra de Dios. Es tiempo de que la palabra de Dios sea predicada. Hay que predicar la palabra de Dios.
Gente que lo respeten para que lo respeten. Si no respetan,
hay que predicar la palabra de Dios. Hay que predicar la palabra de Dios. Hay que predicar la palabra de Dios. ¿Por qué se ofende tanto? Si es la verdad, ¿por qué se ofende tanto? ¿Por qué se ofende tanto? Es la verdad. Es la verdad. Es la verdad. Es la verdad de la Biblia. Es la verdad de la Biblia. Usted tiene mucha envidia y coraje. Se tiene que arrepentir. Se tiene que arrepentir. Se tiene que arrepentir. Mucho envidia, mucho coraje en tu corazón.
No arrepiéntete, tú vienes a molestar a la gente, nadie te está molestando a ti.
Hermano, hablo como dice la Biblia.
I can do that, no problem.
Marijuana will destroy you and send you to hell. Marijuana is a gateway drug. If you end up smoking crystal meth, then you're really in trouble. You end up doing cocaine and fentanyl and crystal meth, then you're really in trouble. Then you're going to end up homeless for sure. Then you're going to end up with mental illness for sure. Then you're going to end up in hell for sure. Time for you people to wake up. Time for you youngsters to stop being influenced by your friends. If your friends are not telling you the truth, they're not your friends.
Hi there.
How you doing?
Hey, listen, we just want to have a conversation because we're getting a lot of complaints about how loud your amplified sound is. We totally agree with the freedom of speech and everything, but again, having amplified sound, you're in violation of, an ordinance, a LAMC ordinance. So we're asking you kindly to please, if you're gonna, express your freedom of speech, please don't utilize your amplified sound, because I don't want to give you a citation for that. Because again, I get it. I totally get it. So please do us a favor, work with us, and we can work with you.
Okay. I'm gonna move locations. I'm gonna get out of this street where the fair is at.
So if you could do me a favor.
So I was under the impression that the amplification was not allowed because I was on the grounds of the fair, and I was willing to go outside of the fair grounds and preach with the amplification in the street where the fair wasn't taking place, but apparently even that was against the law.
Do me a favor, if you can be, you can't have amplified sound. So if you want to do that, please go.
Is there a certain
out.
decimal level? Because I see a lot of street preachers on Anaheim and Avalon all the time on Saturday morning, and they have amplified sound. Is that illegal for them?
It is illegal.
It is illegal, but again, remember that
there's not a decimal sound, a decimal voice?
No,
because
sir.
you have a lot of people driving their cars and bumping loud music.
we cite them.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a vehicle code.
Right now, we are here with you.
Yeah.
So we're warning you just like if we would have warned them.
Okay.
So that's what we usually do. Because sometimes, like yourself, you probably don't know that it's illegal or what have you.
Do you have the section code for that?
41.57.
Okay.
Okay,
So
it's an LAMC. So it could be a citation where it goes on your record, or it can be a citation where it actually goes on your credit. So it goes up in the amount, and it's $500 to start with.
So all amplified sound is illegal, correct?
Yes, sir. All amplified sound is illegal in the city street.
In the city street.
There you go. This police officer tries to tell me that all amplification is illegal, when in reality the section code that she showed me only applies to amplification that goes beyond a certain noise level. But under that noise level, it's completely legal and lawful to do so, but she didn't want to mention that.
Yes, sir. All amplified sound is illegal in the city street.
In the city street.
Even if you have it in your house and it's amplified and it's not bothering someone, you could be cited. So a loud party, you could be cited.
What about on the sidewalk?
City street.
City street. It's illegal.
Any city limits.
City limits.
City sidewalk, city street, city limits.
So there's absolutely no time whatsoever where amplified sound is allowed?
No, sir. Not even on a city park.
So for example, if somebody pays for a permit to have an event, again, they're paying for the permit to have such event. So again, they do make exceptions. You can apply for a city permit to have an event where you are, allowed to have amplified sound. But again, normally people, like you mentioned earlier about standing in a corner at Anaheim and Avalon, they don't, right?
They don't what?
They don't pay for that permit, right? But again, for us here, people are complaining to us about the sound, so we have to take action. We have to respond to their concerns.
I understand.
Okay,
I understand you have to do your job.
So for those that you mentioned earlier about Anaheim and Avalon, if people are not complaining about such people, we're not going to go there. In this particular case, it's different because they are complaining to us.
Okay. So are you trying to say that it's permissible if people don't complain?
No, that's what we're saying is that again, if people bring it to our attention and they ask us to do something, we have an obligation to address their concern and go there. Okay. Now, for example, if you were at Avalon and Anaheim tomorrow and you were doing what you're doing, if people are not calling us, you're not bothering a business there or anybody who's just in that general area. No, we're not. It's still illegal, but we're not going to go because again, you know what? Again, we go where we're needed, and when people bring a concern to our attention.
Wow, that's very hard to believe, to be honest.
Yeah, well, it is. I think that's what it is.
And that's what it is.
We're warning
because I go to many events like SoFi Stadium and parades, and they never have an issue with that. They they allow me my free.
Who's they?
LAPD, sheriff, city police.
Again,
there's way too many of you to actually address it. So we've been out there, but you're a man of God, right? And a man of God always follows the law, right?
Not always. There are certain exceptions.
Well, a man of God should
For the
always
most
follow
part.
the law.
For the most part, yeah.
And listen to authority, because our first authority is God. So if we follow God as of authority, then we go ahead and follow any other authority, right?
Unless
So
that authority contradicts God, then you don't follow.
We're not contradicting God.
Well, the Bible does say to preach.
Well, the Bible might say to preach. The law is that you follow the law and you don't use amplification.
I understand. But the law of God says to preach to, yeah. So if you're shutting me down, you're coming against.
No, I said continue to preach, but at your own voice level.
Yeah, I understand.
Without the amplifier.
You just don't want people to hear it because it's.
No, that's not what you listen to. What
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I misspoke.
That's not what she said.
I misspoke.
So.
But you just don't want people to complain because they hear it a lot. Like it's
No, that has
really
nothing
hearable.
to do whoever hears or whatever. We're just telling you it's illegal to use amplified. So
yeah, no problem. I understand. I know I'm trying to push the boundaries and I'm not trying to be difficult. But if someone wouldn't have complained, then you wouldn't have came up to me or anything, correct?
Absolutely, sir.
You would have, or you wouldn't have
I would not have.
Okay, no problem.
You know?
I just want to get things straight because I am in contact with certain people who know the law and like city attorneys and lawyers who.
Okay.
So
you're entitled to
yeah. So I might even just pursue the citation to fight it in court to really find out what the law is. That's definitely something that I'm entertaining right now because it's very hard to believe, to be honest.
Okay. Well then, you preach.
Yeah, I know the
God.
consequences. I know the consequences.
I do too. I'm a Christian too. But there is one thing. If
Hallelujah.
If the law is telling me, hey, there are certain things you can't do.
I understand.
Certain things that you can't do. I'm going to go ahead and follow. You're a Christian. You try to do your best each and every day, and you follow the law of God first, and then you follow the law which is already imprinted, which is the authority, the police department.
Amen.
So
yeah, I would
that is all I have to say. If you want to continue to pursue the citation, you go right ahead. We're going to confiscate that and cite you with the ACE. Not the one that's going to go on your record where you're going to have to go to court, but actually it's going to go on your credit report.
No problem.
So you go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I just find it very hard. I understand if you don't want me to preach in the premises of the fair, but for you to say that I cannot preach even outside of where the...
You can preach all you want, just not amplified.
Yeah, with the amplified.
No, without the amplified.
Yeah, I just find that very hard to believe.
We'll follow you. We'll just cite you.
Okay, no problem.
Okay?
Yeah.
You have a blessed day.
You too. How you doing, ma'am? I just want to ask you a question. Is it illegal for me to use this on city streets?
Well, it just depends. You recording me?
Yeah.
Which one might not?
No problem.
So it's fair. So it just depends, right? So like if it's, so we have disturbing the peace. So once you start disturbing, no matter what time of the day it is, yes.
Okay.
That's when we're gonna say, hey, we're gonna be, I'll come up to you and we'll have a conversation about it, just so it's fair. Warning, or kind of give you suggestions as well, like, hey, maybe go here and go there, or whatnot.
So if it's not disturbing the peace, is it illegal to use amplified sound in the streets of LA or in Wilmington?
I do. Let me finish my conversation with him. I'm assuming, I'll have to check, but I'm thinking the amplified speaker, I'm connecting it to like a loud radio in a car, right? 500 feet. If you can hear it within 500 feet, then yeah.
So anything under 500 feet would be lawful?
Feet, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is permissible. It just depends on whether whether people complain or whether the noise level.
Guys, like I have the ones that come out on Sunday mornings or Saturday mornings or whatnot, and they'll be on the Avalon corridor.
In Anaheim,
Yeah, and they'll be loud, and I'll get complaints about it. You know, and I try to tell them like, hey, like we got apartment windows here, people are complaining.
So that would technically be disturbing the peace.
Yeah. It would be disturbing the peace.
So I just wanna one more time, so it is lawful, but only under those conditions. It's unlawful. It is right. It is. We're free to do that.
You have freedom of speech, obviously.
Yeah. But with the amplified sound.
So it depends, right?
Yeah. So there's conditions on the amplified sound.
Definitely.
Okay.
I would have to look them up and go through them.
No problem.
Again, like if you wanted to do it, I would just know what you can and can't.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much. How you doing? Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, go ahead.
You look familiar. I think I might have gone to school with you. Oh.
We're in the corner.
Is it lawful to use amplification on the streets at all?
On the streets?
On the streets, in public. Is it lawful?
As long as it's not impeding business, any kind of work. So like how they were saying.
So there's
it's
conditions.
Like in regards to their hearing, people have to be able to hear. Like for example, if you were to stand right here, you're going to be impeding with our radio system. We
problem.
can't hear what our radio is broadcasting. If we need to send something out, they won't be able to hear us in that aspect.
So as long as it doesn't supersede a certain decimal level of volume or noise, it's fine.
That impedes other business going around.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. Thank you very much.
I did notice that you were on the other side.
Yeah,
That kind of helped out a little bit because it
Yeah.
wasn't as loud when you were on this side.
Yeah.
It was pretty loud. It kind of, like they were saying, it was kind of impeding them from working. They were unable to hear.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Yeah. And we're trying to explain them freedom of speech is like we respect that for
Yeah,
you
yeah,
guys and then as well as them. But you know, if you can try to keep it low, not too loud.
Yeah. At a good.
Keep it even.
Yeah,
Keep
I
it
see.
equal,
I see.
okay?
Thank you.
There you go, folks. We see how the police themselves were not unified in what they had to say about the use of amplification in public spaces. As street preachers, we need to learn the law so that these officers don't take advantage of us and strip us from our freedom, the freedom we have to use free speech and amplification in public spaces.